speaking to your audience as if you were there. Most salespeople have mastered the art of verbal persuasion. Unfortunately, most people, whether or not they happen to be employed in sales, suffer something of a disconnect between the ease and fluidity which they speak and how they represent their thoughts on a written page. To address this disconnect, one should analyze their in-person presentations, which they have proven effective, and attempt to represent them as effectively in print as they would in live face-to-face scenario. It's a general rule that what works in one-on-one meeting will equally work well in print. Consider the way in which most salespeople speak. They make statements about the product that serve to pique a customer's interest, and they elaborate on those statements by the way of short, easy to understand points that flow naturally from their original statement. In print, this can be represented via bullet points. Bullet points require very little frame for the customer to read and understand and require little actual writing skills to create. The process, of course, starts with the headline. Writing effective headline. The headline is the initial pitch and therefore the first impression a reader will have regarding the product described. Coming up with the right headline may take some time, but the investment of time and effort is well worth it. It's important to study other headlines. Research the market, get to know the target demographic, and get into their heads. The headline should hit the reader with words that are powerful and enticing. There are definitely some tried and true favorites where sales headlines are concerned. They include attention-grabbing words and phrases such as discover, the amazing secrets of, announcing, introducing, expose, unlock, unleash, secrets. These words are all attention-grabbing in that they imply that something unknown and powerful about to be described. These words are frequently seen in sales letter headlines simply because they work. The headline should address some key elements that have proven effective in garnering interest for the most successful marketers. There are 4 principal elements that one should endeavor to achieve: self-interest, news, curiosity, quick and easy. The first item, self-interest, addresses what the customer wants. Any customer wants to know why they should spend their hard-earned money on the product being offered. This question can be reduced to what's in it for me. As an example, a headline that addresses the self-interest obviously might be element might be along the lines of how to self-publish your own book and make it a bestseller. Obviously, this headline implies that there is something in it for the reader and answers the question effectively and directly. The news item means that the product's sales pitch should imply a sense of something new being announced. The product needs to be described as something that wasn't available before. A news headline would imply that what's being advertised is a solution to a long-standing problem that has only been addressed with the advent of the product being pitched. For example, finally an amazing simple weight loss method that actually works. Lose 2 to 3 pounds quickly, look sexier and happy than either with America's best weight loss secret, without diet, hard exercise, or pills. This headline communicates to the reader what's being offered is both novel and noteworthy for being much different than what's available in the past as far as weight loss programs go. Notice that the weight loss product headline is very long. A headline not only needs to be a few words long. Sales copying, where headlines are concerned, is not bound by the same rules that govern headlines written for newspapers. If a longer headline seems to constitute a better pitch, there's no reason to make it shorter arbitrarily. A sales headline can be even 2 or 3 paragraphs long. Again, if the headline works better and sounds more enticing in a longer format, it is better to be effective than to be brief. A curiosity headline often invokes the idea of a secret that holds the promise of generating something the reader wants. A good example of the headline would be, "The only way left for the little guy to get rich. Here is the uncensored message that my wife asked me not to disclose." This headline entices the reader by leaving a lot of open questions. How does the little guy get rich? What does the writer intend to convey against the objections of his wife? This sort of headline makes it almost impossible for the reader not to dedicate a little bit of time towards reading the entire pitch. The headline appeals to the reader's natural predisposition to favor things that offer a quick and easy solution to a complex problem. Each of the above headlines implies that what's being sold will reward the reader for following through with the rest of the text by giving them something that they will make their life easier and more convenient. They also define a problem that vexes many people and which has yet to be availed of a solution that isn't overly time-consuming, painful, or complex. It's generally a good idea to write the headline before writing the copy. It provides parameters for the persuasive argument that is to follow and defines the theme of the sales letter. Don't be afraid to write several different headlines. It might take 100 headlines before the one that really makes the pitch sparkle comes along. This task is so vital to the usefulness and success of the sales copy that one should not be hesitant to dedicate a great deal of time towards the effort. Once the right headline is written, it should jump off the page and make it essentially impossible for anyone who reads it not to develop an interest in hearing the rest of what is being said.